GoPro battery's dying, so I'm going to see if I can run and gun this one real quick. I'm willing to bet that while I am in the minority on this opinion, I am probably not alone with this opinion. A week ago, August 15th, GM Authority posted an article talking about Camaro sales in the second quarter versus a year ago, and the title just blatantly states Camaro down 83%. Yes, that's factual. Yes, sales are down in Mexico by 69% or something. Canada was down. Brazil was up 250%. It only took 28 cars to make that number. So what's my problem with the article, you may ask, if it has facts? Well, I'm glad you asked, because GM Authority provides pretty much zero context for those facts. So let me explain what I mean. If you were to read this article, you'd see Camaro sold 1,700 some odd units in the second quarter this year versus 83% more a year ago. Third place behind Ford and Challenger. Yeah, we know this. That's expected. Now put yourself in the place of someone that maybe has heard that this is the last year for Camaro. They've been interested in picking one up. They come across this article and they see the sales are down 83% and no context is provided as to why the sales are down. What is that person probably going to come away with as an impression of the 6th Gen Camaro? They're going to think nobody wants these cars. They're going to think there's a problem with these cars. As a matter of fact, somewhere in the body of the article they mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing, GM canceled the Camaro due to slow sales and problems with the 6th generation. Here's the problem with the 6th generation Camaro. Starting in 2018, you disassembled the engineering team, moved Al Oppenheiser over to work on EVs. That wasn't a promotion. And then picked the rest of the team apart, left a skeleton crew to put together a collector edition farewell car for 2024 that, aside from 2 new paint colors, was styled with parts left over in the bins and probably some lady on staff that has a cricket cutter at home making the stickers. In the portion of the article that you put out every year, every quarter, the section entitled The GM Authority Take, which is where you would usually provide context, information, explanation for why the sales are what they are, there's barely a mention of low inventory, which is stated was down to 500 units in the beginning of July, I think. At the time I read the article, I checked, and this has been a couple of days, but a couple of days ago it was down to 220. But aside from that, no mention of a shortened production run that was probably about half of what it would have been, pretty close to that. And then no further mention that that short production run was cut even shorter by a month, and that GM decided to stop taking orders about a month and a half into production. No mention that GM couldn't or wouldn't get parts. No mention that GM abandoned the Camaro years ago and just kind of let it be there. I mean, fundamentally, this goes against what your website about section has for GM Authority, saying something to the effect of, and I'll put the exact quote up, but it reads something like, premier destination for GM enthusiasts as well as current owners and potential owners. And as the premier destination for GM news and information, doesn't these facts seem relevant to low Camaro sales in the second quarter of this year? I mean, my God, there's even a line in there where you mention how Mustang had X number of sales, the discontinued Challenger was in second with X number of sales, and then it says, and I can't quote it, but unsurprisingly, the discontinued Camaro is lacking in, or sales fell further, blah, blah, blah. Unsurprisingly, how is it unsurprising when you don't tell us why that is? It's like GM Authorities abandoned the Camaro also. It wouldn't surprise anybody to read that Camaro was third in sales behind Mustang and Challenger, but to lead with sales having dropped from the same quarter a year ago.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Just does not help anybody that doesn't know any better, but is interested in getting a Camaro. Put up the sales tables like you normally would that would show that sales were down 83% from quarter 2 in 2023 to quarter 2 in 2024. Include the very relevant facts as to why that is. Low inventory because they didn't build the cars. Low inventory because they stopped taking orders for the cars. Low inventory because they didn't have the parts to build the cars. Low inventory because they didn't have the intestinal fortitude to build the cars. Low inventory because Mary Barra has a hard-on for electric vehicles. I don't know. Yes, I know it's done and over with. Yes, I know there's nothing I can do about it, but let me know in the comments if you agree. GM Authority, you've got to do better.